How's it going, everybody? It's me, Shane, and I'm here to give you another Bleach 1,000-Year Blood War episode review recap. Today's episode is episode 10, The Battle. And before I go any further, please hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell, be notified more videos like this, and leave a comment down below. So I'm going to do this one different than how I usually do all my other Bleach ones. I usually do play-by-play like I do a lot of my animes. No, I just want to talk today. So let's talk about the first part of this episode with my Christmassy happy holidays to all of you. So we realized that last week Retau Unohana was actually Yachiru Unohana, the first Kenpachi, the most notorious criminal of all time of the Seirei of Soul Society. And we do get a little bit of backstory. We get some flashbacks of when she first met Kenpachi. She was in a Rukon district just murdering gang members to try to satiate her hunger for battle. It seems like whenever you become these battle hungry, battle loving folks that, you know, it's life or death. You got to kill, right? When you're not using your sword to protect, you kind of get bored if you're the strongest. And she met Kenpachi, and in her, he found someone that he would actually finally call a foe. But it turns out she was actually weaker than him back then. She was actually fully weaker than him. And she was devastated because, not because he was stronger, but because she could tell that he started to suppress himself so he would not lose the only person that he was able to call a foe. And it's incredible because I don't know who this guy was, but one of her guardsmen, one of her crew had said, yeah, I know you're out here killing folks just to satiate your hunger. You have this mountain of bodies, which is as big as your hunger. She's like, big as your dissatisfaction. She's like, how long has those bodies been there? Because those aren't mine. They were all Kenpachi Zaraki, which is interesting. Because I read a couple things can't even say last week because I did my videos late, but I read a couple things leading up to this video where I talked to you guys because, yeah, it turns out whoever was because Kenpachi was was he the 11th Kenpachi? Wait a minute. Zaraki was the what Kenpachi? I want to say he was I feel like he was the 8th. Was he the 8th Kenpachi? No. Yes. No. I don't remember. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Oh, it's in here somewhere. The 11th generation is one. Oh, he was the 11th squad. He's the 11th guy. That's funny. It's kind of interesting given that she technically didn't pass on her title to him until now. She was the first. So you had guys 2 through 10 who somehow got the titles, I guess, I guess 2 got it because she says, I'm not killing no more. So whoever the next Kenpachi is, you're number 2. I don't care. But Unohana even says you really can't get the title until you kill the other person, because there can only be one. It's because when the strongest looks for the next strongest, one or two things going to happen. You're going to point your sword at the person and you're going to, have the fight, and it'll be to the death, or you're pointing your sword at them to nurture them, which is what she was doing for Kenpachi. She felt like that is her greatest sin, that because she wasn't strong enough to meet his expectation, he started holding back. When he fought Ichigo, she said you narrowly lost against Ichigo Kurosaki. Do you not understand why that happened, or why you narrowly won against Nitro? I can't remember how to say that guy's last name. You guys remember the Ankara, the one with the 4 arms and the moon scythe, and he betrayed Nail because he's a piece of shit. Why you narrowly won against him, and you know why he lost against Fake. You watch. It's because each time he was pushed towards the edge, he slowly became his old self. He started breaking off his self-inflicted shackles, which there's a bit of poeticness there, right? It's kind of poetic that in order to find the feeling and the joy of battle, hold himself back. It's kind of a thing that's been present the whole time. Remember, his whole eye patch thing was so he can enjoy fights longer. And Unohana even said before, you suppressed yourself to fight for eternity. And she learned how to heal herself so she could fight for eternity. Incredible. Incredible story. And this is why I had mixed feelings about Thousand Year Blood War. This is the stuff I was ready to get to. Like this section here, I got to see Kikurio Hikifune. Got to see that character. Got to this point here. The other stuff with Kenpachi, like the next fights, the next fights are gonna be incredible, and there's gonna be some really messed up stuff. But this kind of reminds me of Shaman King, when those last manga chapters were quickly written just to finish up the story, even though the mangaka for years and years, I believe it was he, I don't know if it's he or she, but they were sick, and doing this stuff can mentally drain you. Anybody that does art, whether it's video making, drawing, animating, anything that is art, it can be draining, especially to your health, especially with how these people work. And I say that I segue back into, feels like I always felt like some parts of this ending was rush. Because why give us all this cool shit with Unohana? Finally, we understand, is that why everybody always shut the hell up whenever she looked at them? She didn't have to say a word. They're like, we know who she is. We're going to shut up. Hundreds of years ago, she was the baddest bitch around. She's still the baddest bitch now. Hole in her chest given to her by the one person who could actually beat her. And she even said, I am the strongest here. The only person who's stronger than me is you. And I like that a lot of the dialogue between these two in the mind. It's in the mindscape and inside the mind. It goes to that old adage that when you cross swords with someone, unless they're a truly evil person, you tend to understand each other's hearts, especially if you have a love for the battle. Fighters talk about it all the time. You respect your opponent. She was his biggest inspiration. That's why he named little pink haired girl who, I'm gonna be honest, I don't can't even go that far. I can't go that far. Just find it interesting that she was named after the person who he admires the most, which is her. And that's the whole thing. Her Bankai, which I'm just gonna go through. I had to go back through my notes. I'm sorry, y'all. It is called. Also, before I forget, the way that the intro was in this, with the battle being in blood, or should I say, the title, episode 10 being in blood, and then the battle coming off the edge of the blade as the rain hits, they are killing it, man. Holy hell, they are killing it. Her Bankai is called Minazuki. She cuts her hand across this blade and makes just blood, and it's a blood AoE thing. She's like, if you guys play Elden Ring, she's like Melina. You played Bloodborne, Maria of the Clock Tower. Just those are the vibes, and that's how she was moving, throwing blood waves and slicing and everything. I genuinely wonder if Maria was partially based off of that. Very, very similar. And this did come first. This came before the whole Bloodborne thing. But Kenpachi starts to notice that each time he's never blacked out in the middle of battle before, but each time he does, he feels he's getting more and more experience. Like he's doing more than just reacting now. And when she did her Bankai is when he cut her and he said, "You thought you killed me, didn't you? Now we're going to stop playing around." And when he kills her, he actually cries. He's like, "Don't die. You can't die. I'm begging you." And she's like, "You're afraid that you're going to go back to the way it was before, being bored with everybody that you fight, right?" But she said, "I wouldn't be thinking about that because you have some enemies ahead of you, you watch, and you have comrades who you can evenly fight against." The three he evenly fights against: Byakuya, Renji, Ichigo. And that's interesting that she said that. She says she's the strongest. Only person stronger than her is him. But if he fights evenly with those three, that's saying a lot. Saying a whole lot. Now, here comes my gripe that I've been waiting to say, and hints of it in the beginning. What was the whole point, Kubo, of finally fleshing out this relationship, showing us actually how cool Unohana really, really was? They just kill her. There's been several Reddit threads I've seen. People like, why wouldn't you want two really strong killers on your team to handle what's going on? The first super killer and the last super killer. She could have just healed, and her whole thing, she believed that she learned how to heal. She learned how to do all that, learn Kaido just for this, just to help him. And I have to agree. I think it's bullshit. Like, it's kind of piss poor writing. It's to increase the stakes. I get it, but at the same time, it's like, ooh, I got all these interesting characters that a lot of people do kind of like. I gotta write this off. Gotta write this off. I don't want to say it's like what happened with the last great ninja war in Naruto, because him killing Neji, that's because people were complaining there was no stakes. So thank you. One of my top 3 characters got killed because people were complaining. But it's so lazy. It is kind of lazy. This is kind of why I said last year that One Piece was the greatest manga anime successor to Dragon Ball of all time, because you don't necessarily have to kill off all these interesting characters. Just have them show up again later. It's almost kind of, Demon Slayer is almost like the successor of this show. And to a point where I'm kind of realizing the irony of me watching this and then watching Chainsaw Man, where almost everybody can die, and it's like in this show, oh, you think that really, really strong guy's gonna live? No. Oh, you think the other really, really strong guy's gonna keep fighting? He's gonna win that fight. He's gonna lose an arm while doing it, and he's probably not gonna fight ever again. Bleach is like right there. It's on the other end. It's just we're wasting characters, and it reminds me of that a little bit. Can you guys understand what I'm saying? Just leave a comment down below if you understand what I'm saying, right? I don't want to say I'm frustrated. It just seems like a waste. Like Unohana couldn't just be like, all right, you have the title now, and oh look, she's alive. She's just gonna stay as the healing person. I guess all her stuff has been passed on already to Isane. I think that's her name, Isane, or is it Issei? It's Issei or Isane. A lot of these people have the same-ish names. But I just, that frustrates me. This is why, above all things, I would love to have a Bleach prequel. A Blequel. I would love to have a Blequel. I need to know what those first guys were doing. I want to see why they were the baddest of the bad. I need to see more Unohana. I need to see her whoop some ass. That's just me. And with how well animated this is, Studio Pierre doing a great job. I'm pretty sure at the end of all this, if they don't do the extended sequel, which I would hold off on that, give me a prequel, please. Give me an anime only prequel. Kubo's putting out new art. He put out art of Unohana in some cool ass street clothes with the whole scar showing. Bruh. Second part of this episode, the meanwhile part, is with Renji and Ichigo meeting up with this guy's name. I swear Kubo just makes up fake names. Oh-Etsu Nimaiya, who is literally the sword god. He made Zanpakuto. Who made Zanpakutos. When they get there, they're surrounded by beautiful women. Turns out those beautiful women are all literally Zanpakutos. And he was questioning. He's like, so you all don't know the difference between Soul Reapers and Zanpakutos? And they had to fight what's called the Asuachi. Asuachi are the first stage of Zanpakutos. They're basically Tontos, no handguards. And Soul Reapers spend their whole time studying with these blades and having these blades with them. And their soul essence wraps around it to basically mirror and become a part of them, right? And this guy makes all of them, and they were in a pit full of these things who have mouths for eyes. I couldn't tell if they were drooling eyes or crying eyes, but they're mad, and they're mad because of how they treated Zabimaru and Zangetsu, which are both broken. The guy has their blades and even breaks them even more. Like, yeah, if they were better loved, they wouldn't break this easily. Unfortunately, and I love they did all of this after the credits. After 71 hours and 38 minutes, Renji was still standing. Ichigo was on the ground, and he's like, "Yeah, I picked Renji, right? One of them they picked Renji, they didn't pick you. You're not really a soul reaper, are you? You're just a human who just happens to have a Zanpakuto." And he's like, "Yeah, I can't. I'm gonna send you back, and don't ever come back to Soul Society." He's being an asshole. Literally, the black dude who was being goofy and speaking English. Some decent English, but mostly English, and doing the whole dance thing. And I'm gonna guess the redheaded girl, Mika, whatever her name is. I think it's Mika, whatever. Mira, who, man, Kubo's one of those artists where you could tell he only has a set amount of faces. Even these two basically looks similar. But apparently she was from Zanpakuto too. It was funny. It was a funny moment where he's doing the name thing, counting from 10 to 1. But anywho, dude's being an ass. And when Ichigo's like, okay, she gets him out, but he's going in to punch this guy. He's like, you think I would quit after coming this far? You're not gonna fix Zangetsu? And he shoots him back to the land of the living. He's like, you need to discover your roots and even find out if you can even come back here. Period. Remember guys, I watch subs. So sub was it could be confusing if one, you don't really speak the language, two, you're not a native speaker, and if you don't get the context. So the context is you need to find out about yourself. Remember, we just found out literally 3 or 4 episodes ago, he's actually a Quincy as well. He's part Quincy. This is really not that much of a spoiler, guys, especially for something that's being animated after all this time. I'm just being nice, holding back with some of the information that I know because I'm not a jerk. But yeah, dude, you're half Quincy. I wonder which half is the Quincy half. It's his mom. I'm just going to tell you it's his mom. Come on, guys. You should know it's his mom. His dad we literally saw his dad in a captain's outfit when, what's her name? Kana and Kaku had sent him back, which I guess that maybe they were related, but calling someone uncle was not really the same thing as maybe being familiar. Who knows? But yeah. Cone is funny. He called him strange stuffed animal man. Dude, I give these characters credit. They have personality. Will that personality matter when and if the Quincy's get there? You'll see. But all in all, very enjoyable episode. I have to give this a 4. I'm giving this a 5 out of 5. I'm giving this a 5 out of 5 because of the first half, because the battle was cool. You know, if you're not a person like me who has to, take notes and analyze this stuff, the battle was cool. The battle was cool as hell. I wish I had a quote of the day for you. I don't think I do have a quote of the day for you. Other than playtime is over. Literally, she said playtime is over. Generic, but it's actually really cool. The one thing I did forget about the most important part of this episode is Kenpachi's sword spoke to him. We didn't get to learn the name of it because why would they tell you the name of it? You got to save that for when he fights, y'all. Save it for when he fights. Sword spoke, and it spoke in a very soft, feminine voice. It's very funny that the voice actress for Retau Unohana is actually the same voice actress for Sailor Mercury. Wow. Again, I watch subs, not dubs. So, yeah, his sword spoke out to him. Finally, remember, he's been suppressing himself. So suppressing himself led to the fact that he couldn't hear his sword's voice until now. And even the sword feminine voice, which sounded eerily similar to Unohana's, but I don't think it is. Excuse me. That voice Basically saying, he's like, who are you? He's like, I'm the person that's been with you this entire time, and person been with you this entire time and has been closer to you than anyone. And we get flashes of him fighting. It's like, who else would it be, dude? He does place Unohana's sword in the ground beside her as he walks out. The speech after this was, you without sin are like the sun. Next episode is going to be everything but the rain. Episode 11. Poor Unohana. Boy, oh boy. Yeah, I'm going to give it a 4.5 just because I still think it's a freaking waste to kill off Unohana. I thought it was a waste when I read it in the manga. I was shocked for a couple weeks, but still just think it's a bit of a waste. But I guess you got to make waste. You don't have to think about everybody. Get rid of some of these guys, and you're going to see another Soul Reaper get... They have a cool moment, but it leads to them not being able to be a Soul Reaper anymore. I'm gonna say they, so you don't know who I'm talking about, but it is what it is. But let me know what you thought of the episode in the comment section down below. Do you all prefer this style of review for this? If you do, I'm gonna keep doing it. Let me know. I really appreciate feedback. As always, hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be notified of more videos just like this one. As always, thank you for taking some time out to listen to me talk about anime. Be good, be blessed. Wash those hands. Be safe out there, you all. It's getting nuts, not just from germs and diseases and stuff like that, but actual people out there. Don't be one of those people. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. All right. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. Either way, don't be a jerk. And as always, there's people who would rather talk to you today than miss you and mourn you tomorrow. Talk to somebody. Need to talk to somebody? My socials are right in the description here. As always, guys, it's Shane. I'll see you next time. Bankai.